there's a friend of ours, right? There's a friend of ours in this, if you will. Um, our boy, Lethal Natan Levy. He is I would assume he's a current UFC fighter. I don't think he got cut. He is a UFC fighter though, and he's Israeli, and he wasn't really anything special. He's not gonna be anything special, if I'm being completely honest with you. Like you can just tell the guys that are gonna make it versus the guys who don't. Natan Levy is not gonna make it. Bottom line, right? And I'm saying this is a guy who has never been to the UFC. I'm not trying to take away the fact that he's been to the UFC. Good for him. Like genuinely good for him. But how did he get to the UFC? By beating up guys that he could easily take on, right? He hasn't faced a challenge yet, and I think the last fight that he had in the UFC, he faced a challenge and he got absolutely smoked, right? But that aside, my issue with him is not whether or not he's a good or bad fighter. In fact, I don't actually think there's a such thing as a bad fighter, but maybe we'll have to talk about that some other time. Um, my issue with him is that he, much like a lot of people from his little extreme couture stable, the Sean Stricklands and things like that. He ended up inviting some dudes from the internet to come in, and he absolutely beat the piss out of them as some kind of like flex to be like, yeah, don't fuck with Israel, don't fuck with Israel. Um, it was just a disgusting thing, and I didn't like that, and I don't like him, right? I don't like this guy right out the gate. Just the venom that he spit on camera, was disgusting. Same thing with his buddy. I think he has a buddy named like Shyman or like Shimon or something like that. Also, I don't think he was Israeli. I think he was just like Yiddish or some shit like that. He like they both took part in this video, and in fact, you know what? Real quick, we'll go ahead and we'll look it up. We'll go ahead and we'll look it up because I'm pretty. Oh no, actually, I didn't react to it. I wanted to react to it, and I also got in touch with one of the guys from the um. I got in touch with one of the guys who was in the video, right? I got in touch with one of the guys who was in the video, right? This dude right here, right? Like I would assume this kid is not watching me right now. If you are, I don't mean any disrespect towards you at all, but like you can just see the sweetness in his eyes. You can just see he's a little sweet. All right, if we're just being honest here. I don't mean to be an asshole, bro, but like it's safe to say this kid right here is not like some kind of big rough and tumble fighter, right? This dude right here knew exactly what he was doing by inviting him into the gym to spar. And you can see he's like good spirits. He's like, hey, everybody, how's it going? Haha. He's more just happy to be here. He's just happy to be here, is all that it is, right? Um, and again, like, it's also like a racial humiliation thing as well, right? Like, listen
Yeah,
to
no,
this.
I was just messing around.
Oh, you were messing around?
Yeah, no, I'm not a hateful person. I love everybody.
First impression of seeing Ben in the gym.
We got white pussy.
Why were you talking shit?
You see, he had to toss that little piece in there because, haha, yeah, I'm gonna humiliate the white guy. Haha, yeah, white pussy. White people are pussies. Haha, right? So here we are, right? So the funny thing is, he is like, I forgot about that part. Right, so it's funny now that I think of it. This kid actually had some Taekwondo experience, right? And it's funny because they included that little piece where Natan got pushed back. I talked to this dude right here, and he said that there were multiple things about this where like there was worse footage of Natan. Like Natan was actually having a hard time on the feet compared to what he felt like he was supposed to be doing, and he was getting frustrated, right? And then they also did some selective editing bullshit here where like I guess apparently this dude hit him with an elbow by mistake, and he was like, "Oh, you hit me with an elbow," and he was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And then they tried to make it look like he was like, "I'm sorry, okay, I didn't mean to insult Israel, I didn't mean to insult Jews," right? Like That's what they tried to make it look like. They used selective editing, right? But overall, like, he went easy on him compared to how he could have gone. So I will say that is like, all right, Natan didn't absolutely leave him with a broken nose. But the other issue I have, right, is, oh yeah, and look at this too, right? Oh boy.
I wanted to come down here,
Right.
see what's up. Saw he gets his ass kicked, but that's fine.
You see, like, this dude, I don't know if this is the same day or not, right? But he comes down there. It's very clear that he's like, just autistic as shit, right? And in fact, look,
Everybody gotta learn.
look at this, look at this.
I'm not defending Nick Fuentes. I'm defending my friend's honor.
I'm not defending Nick Fuentes. I'm defending my friend's honor. Like, what the fuck, dude? What? They're picking these dudes from like the special ed class practically. Like this dude clearly is on the spectrum, right? And you're about to see what this guy right here. This is the guy that I really have a big issue with. Like, I don't like Natan because you can tell he's just like a piece of shit, right? But this dude is like even worse, right? Go ahead. You're gonna see right away.
Let's go, CJ. Oh, I don't know.
What? Yeah.
You see how this dude is not holding back at all, right? Like the oh yeah, it gets even worse.
I got fucked up.
Yeah, like that dude did not hold back at all, right? I just like that guy even more than the Natan dude, because at least the Natan guy was like, all right, we're just trying to get the footage here. This dude probably he doesn't probably have a broken nose. He literally, his nose is disaligned now and it is bleeding. And for what? For fucking what? This dude straight up said, I don't even like Nick Fuentes. I'm just defending my friend's honor, quote unquote. Which means that like he was probably sitting there while people in the gym were talking to him like, I mean, don't you want to defend your friend's honor there, dude? This is how they sound in Vegas, where Extreme Couture is. Don't you want to fucking defend your friend's honor, kid? I don't care if you don't like Nick Fuentes. This ain't about Fuentes. It's about your friend's honor, kid. Come on, dude. Let's get get the gloves, get a mouth guard. Let's get in there, kid. Right? That's probably what happened, you know. And that is just disgusting, right? And that's why I talk shit about Natan Levy any chance I get, you know. And I've added him on Twitter, not like added, but like I have atted him on Twitter. I've been like, yo, he wouldn't want to fight me because I'm too big and I'm too well trained. UFC caliber or not, it would not go well for him. It just would not. It would not go the way that he wants it to go. He wouldn't have a highlight reel of beating me up or anything like that. You know, what's his face? Like this poor kid right here. This poor kid who is clearly roped in by a predator. You know, fucking he wouldn't get that from me, and that's why when I was talking mad shit about him, and I added him. And people were also adding him, saying, oh, dude, fuck this guy up, dude. He didn't want to answer. He didn't want to talk, you know? And it's just frustrating. But yeah, Natan Levy is part of what I predict will end up happening with MMA, right? Where you'll have guys that, like, they make it to the UFC off of either a fluke or... maybe they're not. Maybe they are UFC caliber, but they're not gonna really make it to the top, the tip top of the top, right? And because of that, when they get to the UFC, they just turn into influencers and shit like that. Like I didn't even realize this, but like everybody has a YouTube channel now. Sean Strickland has a YouTube channel. Sean O'Malley has his podcast. Natan Levy YouTube channel. This is his channel right here. There's going to be dudes that they make it to the UFC and their thing is going to be like, all right, I'm starting a YouTube channel and I'm going to become an influencer. Like, you're going to have a certain type of dude who gets into the UFC and they use that to launch an influencer career. And I think Natan Levy is one of those guys because, you know, instead of UFC fights, I've seen and heard more in terms of him, like, trying to be Mr. Influencer. And now he's on the Ultimate Self-Defense Challenge. So